when you look at the impact of AI in our life, it's going to be the creation of all these AI agents that will provide services, different level of expertise in different part of the world to help you in education, in health, and different domain. And all these agents, there will be billions of them, will transact, exchange value. So we'll see trillions of transactions between AI agents, and all of that will happen on the blockchain. So that ledger that enables value to be moved is going to be used massively in AI. And then on tokenization, again, institutions, they started with tokenizing fiat money, USD primarily. Yeah. Now it's about $200+ billion of fiat money tokenized, USDT leading the pack quite heavily. And then now we're seeing new financial instruments being tokenized, treasury bills, money market funds, and more instruments to come. And then we'll see maybe down the road in specific markets, like assets like real estate and others coming also to the blockchain.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And again, we had Bitcoin and crypto slightly move up. As I'm doing this video, we are pulling back slightly, but we're trading in that same range. And we have stocks dumping. Guys, don't forget, we have options and cryptos and stocks. If you're a part of my stock Patreon account, make sure you're looking at your calendar. That's the reason why stocks are pulling back. So therefore, Friday is not so bad. We know how they do this. They price it in. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Samson says prices are manufactured when it comes to Bitcoin. With all this institutional buying, Bitcoin should be higher. But we know there was a lot of money printing, which helped Bitcoin get there along with these rest of these cryptos. And now the Fed is starting to shrink some of this liquidity. And that's the reason why we're going to be pulling back. Now we have JP Morgan warns of downside risk for crypto's institutional demand for Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. And when we go to CME for Bitcoin and Ethereum futures, volume has not been there. The open interest has been decent. But again, you can see liquidity is shrinking. Now we have DYDX Foundation CEO says DeFi boom will start in September. And we know DeFi is definitely the new banking. If we get stablecoin regulation, that will allow them to mint trillions of stable coins out of thin air. You thought the Fed was bad with printing all this fiat. You just wait until we get these stable coins, and don't forget, these stable coins are going to be programmable, being able to tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now down, but as we can see, the market is tanking, and I just told you why. And then we have the dollar down. We have volume in crypto right now down. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at 73 billion yesterday. Make sure you're pulling it on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the EU Central Bank unveils plans for a blockchain-based system. Guys, remember, everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. And we have the SEC launches a cyber and emerging technologies unit to combat misconduct in emerging tech like AI, blockchain, and crypto. And who's going to be doing all the misconduct? That's right, the banks, because the banks are the biggest what? I'll let you finish that. And we have Coinbase CEO says that as much as 10% of the global GDP will be crypto-based by 2030. And by 2030, I would say at least 30 to 60%. Because once it gets to moving, it is so easy to transfer it over because we already seen this legacy market crumble. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And the S&P says the U.S. stablecoin adoption is being hindered by a lack of regulation. And like I stated, guys, as soon as we get regulation for these stablecoins, this is going to push this industry fast forward. There will be no stopping these digital assets because we already know these corporations are already using the technology, already using AI behind the scenes. They've already flipped the switch. They just need that crisis to bring in all this technology. The same way we went through the C word, all this technology was available, and then you could sit back and see why it was there. You had Zoom, you had DoorDash, you have Amazon, you have Walmart still open, while everything else was closed. So the same thing is going to go for this next crisis. We're going to see the drones. So instead of your driver coming, you'll see the robot and the drones delivering the items. Instead of telemarketer workers, of course, you're going to have these AI agents. And when it comes to the grid or when it comes to these towers, they don't want us using it. They want us using the satellites. And that's the reason why we see all these cell phone companies having contracts with these satellite companies. And I'm an old man. That was unheard of. Satellite was the last thing you wanted to do. But these stable coins and blockchain and also these digital assets are going to be able to make that happen. And then plus, you're talking about we're going to be on a shared economy. So if you have the knowledge, if you have a little money, you may be able to get paid just by letting someone use your internet service. But like I told you, 60% of this economy is going to involve some type of gaming. And these social media platforms are not there for any reason. They're going to help this fourth industrial revolution move fast forward. Social credit, social shopping, social working. That's what these platforms are going to be all about. One-stop shop. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now up. And we had 64 million of net outflows yesterday for these spot Bitcoin ETFs. We had for Ethereum, we had 19 million net inflows yesterday. So guys, make sure you're paying attention to the inflows and outflows. I know we keep hearing about institutional buying, but no one talks about the selling. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, getting over into a little crypto news, we have Binance CZ says that you can buy Bitcoin after the government is done buying or before. And when you don't have hundreds of thousands or millions or billions to buy Bitcoin, remember, investing is all about timing. We know we're going to be pulling back. It's all about your entry point. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, not your financial advice, not financial advice. Please do your own research. Now we have Trump vows to audit Fort Knox gold reserves. And don't forget, guys, gold just keeps hitting all-time high. Why? Because the central banks are buying. But never forget, Trump was in office for 4 years. Don't forget, he used to be president. He had plenty of time to audit, guys. Don't fall for the Hegelian dialectic. This is the same thing with Biden, and also the same thing with Harris trying to run for president when she was vice president and didn't do anything. Remember, these politicians work for the corporations and the banks. They are paid puppets. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have Elon says he never gave a figure amount. And the mainstream media pushed that $5,000 figure amount. And of course, they got social media buzzing. But if that's taxpayer money, 100% of it needs to go back to the taxpayers. Remember, guys, there's no such thing as debt when you're printing the money. And the United States dollar is the world reserve currency. And never forget, that little bit of stimulus money that they gave the people, they've gotten back 100 times fold with all this inflation. Housing prices, food prices is out of this world. But we know universal basic income is coming because we have the machines ready to take over the economy, and the machines now have money. And you're talking about AI agents working in the background. You have the drones, you have the algorithms, robots, and then you're talking about these supercomputers where you won't be able to trust your eyes and ears on what you're seeing and hearing. And when I wrote my NWO book, I tried to write about everything that's going on in the economy because there's so many moving pieces, you're not paying attention. But I tried to come at it at a historian point to connect the dots, so therefore you could look forward. And in my next book, of course, I always go over the spiritual side of things, which I don't talk about on this channel. On this channel, I like you to hear it from the horse's mouth. So therefore you hear the truth, none but the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. And I know you're going to hate me because I'm telling you the truth. But remember, guys, I'm just a watchman on the wall. And the truth is, the machines are about to take over the global economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, we have Hashdex receives approval for the world's first XRP spot ETF in Brazil. And we know XRP and XLM are similar protocols moving money. But now we have Ripple with its own stablecoin that can move its own money. And that changes the game. And don't forget, they already have the CBDC platform. They already have custody. They have everything that a bank should have. And we know Brad Garlinghouse stated he was there to help the banks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.